Chapter 10, Regression and Correlation. So the previous chapter looked at comparing populations to see if there was a difference between the two. Okay, so that involved two random variables where the same measurement was taken from two different groups. Okay, so we had our 2-prop z-test, our 2-sample t-test, and our paired t-test in the last unit. Okay, so this chapter will look at two random variables, but in this case we will have just one group where we are looking at two different measurements taken on the same object. So in the last section in the paired studies, we had two measurements of the same variable taken on either same or paired objects. And we're going to see if there's a relationship between the two quantitative variables. So to do this, we look at something called regression, which we'll get into later in this section, which finds the linear relationship in correlation, which measures the strength of the linear relationship. So please note, there are many other types of relationships besides linear ones that can be found for data. Okay, this book will only explore linear, but if you momentarily flash back to algebra classes, you'll remember things like quadratic, exponential, logarithmic, periodic functions like sine and cosine. There's lots of other things that we can model data with as well. But this intro course, we are going to strictly focus on linear models. So in section 10.1, we're going to focus on regression. So when comparing two different quantitative variables, two questions come to mind. So one is the relationship between the two variables, and then the second one is how strong is that relationship. So these two questions can be answered using regression. So that's going to help us find the relationship between the two variables. And then correlation, which is going to help measure how strong that relationship is. So we're going to highlight these two words because they will be used throughout this particular unit. All right, so regression answers whether there is a relationship. And again, this book is only going to explore linear. And correlation answers how strong the linear relationship is. So to introduce both of these concepts, it's easier to start looking at a set of data. So below are the steps from chapter 2 for making a scatter plot.